Hey, this is Leland from New Beginnings Retreat, and we're going to do a little video of a few guys staying here with us that just had surgery this week, and we're going to start with Devin. If you just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Devin, I'm 36, I live in Venice, Florida, and I've been on testosterone for 3.5 years.
Okay, and your surgery is with?
My surgery was with Dr. Sasani.
Okay.
I'm Ian, I'm 27, I live in Utah. I had surgery with Dr. Garamoni.
Okay.
I'm Thane, I'm 29, I'm a musician. I'm from Dallas area. I've been on T like a year and 3 months, and I had top surgery with Dr. Garamoni.
Okay.
Not on T.
No, you're not on testosterone. Okay, good. And so start back over with you and tell us, how did you feel pre-operative when you were getting ready to go to your pre-op?
I was nervous, not really sure, what to expect as far as surgery goes, because you can talk to people and get different people's opinions, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be your experience as well. So I was a little nervous, a little apprehensive, sure that I was going to go through with it, but still a little uncertain.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really nervous. Most of my nervousness was before I got here, and then a lot of it turned into excitement, especially when we were in the pre-op appointment and we were filling out the paperwork, and I saw Dr. getting ready to come out and was doing something on the computer, and I was like, oh!
Good.
For me, I was lucky enough to be a caretaker to this very surgery 2 months ago. Before that, I was a nervous wreck, but being the sole caretaker for this person, it just really prepared me for the surgery. And between 2 months ago and now, I haven't been as nervous. When I got here, I was absolutely not nervous at all. It was kind of weirding me out because I'm usually very a highly anxious person, but I haven't been nervous since I got here.
Good.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your support system, your family or friends, or how was support for you?
My mom is amazing support-wise. She's like my rock, and has been 180% supportive through this whole transition. Through even planning for surgery, she was here for my consultation. Wanted to come down for the surgery itself and stay, but unfortunately wasn't able to. Beyond that, I have a few close friends who are very supportive as well. I mean, that's about it.
Okay, Ian?
My family is not supportive at all. Up until the moment I went into surgery, my parents were telling me on the phone, it's not too late to cancel. But most of my support comes from online friends and friends I've met through a group called Affirmation, which is a group of Mormons who support LGBT people. So they've been a huge help and support for me.
Good. But your mom's been calling since you've been here.
She's been calling to check on me. Mostly her questions are you okay medically?
Right.
She's avoiding any of the trans topics, and when I send her pictures, she's like, she doesn't really respond. She doesn't want to see it. She just wants to know that I'm healthy and that surgery went okay.
Okay. But she did express a concern for your safety and well-being,
Yes.
and that she even told me she does love you very much, and
Yes.
and I think she said to me she just doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
So I think she's trying.
Yeah.
Your mom is here.
Yeah, my mom is here. She's awesome. She's always been cool with it. She said a couple times, I've learned so much since I got here, and that's cool for both of us. As far as my family, one side of my extended family, I haven't seen them in over 10 years, and they're not supportive, or the ones that I have seen are supportive. But my mom's side is definitely, if they're not silent about it, then they're cool. It's just hard to tell right now, but all in all, my immediate family is really supportive, so that's good.
Okay. Surgery expectations. What did you think? You've had your post-op, the two of you, Thane and Ian, but you haven't had yours yet.
Right.
So before you saw your post-op, what were your expectations? Is it the same once you saw him? Was it what you thought?
Same, and I think it's because I watched hundreds of chest reveal videos on YouTube from Dr. Garamoni. So I knew exactly what he was going to say, what he was going to do. Of course, it's still a bit shocking actually seeing it for yourself, especially when he takes the stuff off the nipples. But it was pretty much all what I expected.
Okay, and the difference with Dr. Sassani is all of his surgeries don't look the same.
Right.
He gets suggestions from his patients, and he actually tailors his surgeries.
Yeah, in fact, he asked me at my pre-op appointment, he said, well, how do you want your scars to look? Do you want them to be curved? Do you want them to be more straight? Do you want them to come down at a curve and kind of square up? How do you want it to look?
Right.
Which I thought, to me that meant a lot. Because that said, I'm taking an active interest in how you want to look. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Dr. Garamoni or his techniques or anything like that, but I thought it was just an extra touch.
I think it works good for both ways because a lot of guys want to know exactly what it's going to look like, and they like that it's that they've seen many results the same, and then other guys want to be able to tailor make their own look.
Yes.
So I think that each surgeon works for specific types of people really well.
I think it's good too that Dr. Garamoni is willing to change it up a little bit. Like we had 2 people this week. One person didn't want nipples at all. Another person wanted them a little bit bigger. So probably not quite as customized as your doctor, but he does work with you a bit.
Well, Dr. Garamoni's been doing it a long time, much longer time. This specific surgery, Dr. Sassani's been doing plastic surgery, but not this specific surgery. So everyone gets their own style. And that's the good thing about having versatility.
Yes.
And as far as anticipating post-op reveal, I've also watched hundreds of reveal videos of both Dr. Garamoni and other surgeons. Nothing could have prepared me for looking down and seeing nothing there. There's absolutely nothing that emotionally can prepare you for that, and it's unlike any other feeling. And
Sure.
I'm still to this moment trying to process how that is. It's not amazing or horrible, it's just what it was, and I'm still trying to,
It's surreal.
Yeah.
That's the best word I can think of.
Yeah, I can't quite assimilate it yet, so
Yeah.
surreal, yeah.
One of the questions I wanted to ask is, do any of you plan on having bottom surgery?
I do not.
I feel like if they were a little bit more medically advanced, I would look into it. Some of them are, but at this point, no. Maybe years down the road.
And I agree with Thane on that. If there were some more advances, I would be more comfortable with doing something like that as it stands right now.
Okay, and my last question is, since you are staying at New Beginnings, how has staying here been a benefit to you as individuals or you and your family members?
With me, when I first got here, I was really nervous, and it was nice to be able to talk to guys who were in various stages of recovering from the surgery to get an idea of what to expect day of, what to expect a little bit further down the line. It really put me at ease, and I was very comfortable going the next day. As you know, I was insanely calm when I was waiting to go in for surgery.
Yes, your pulse was 68.
62.
Oh, 62.
62.
Yeah, that was before the drugs.
Yes, much before the drugs. But the other thing is, I feel like there's a camaraderie there. There's a brotherhood. And maybe it's the guy that you go into surgery with on the same day, or guys that you meet just in the process of being there. But you make friends, and I think lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
And that's awesome because you don't often get that.
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of guys haven't ever seen other trans guys until they get here. And then they get to hang out together. And I think it's really nice that we have more than one surgeon's patients right now, because you get to see different techniques and you get to share different experiences. So I'm really kind of enjoying that. It's really nice.
Yeah, and years ago when I first started researching transition, especially top surgery, I thought, oh, my ideal situation would be to have a center or a house or some sort of place where everyone can heal together and talk about the recovery process. And then I found New Beginnings online. I was like, wow, it's just like, what I imagined the best scenario would be. So
Good.
I knew I was going to come here from the beginning.
And Ian and Devin, you're both here without family members here. So
yeah, I'm traveling by myself, and if it wasn't for New Beginnings Retreat, I would not have been able to get surgery. I wouldn't be able to afford to hire a nurse or some medical person to stay with me in a hotel, and you know, you can't come and do a surgery like this by yourself. And I didn't only get top surgery; I got the man sculpture too, which is liposuction.
it's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot to do. You can barely move, and there's a lot of pain. So there's no way I could have done it without New Beginnings Retreat.
Well, we've really enjoyed having you guys here. You're, I always say you're my favorite group. But, you know, we always hate to see you leave, but we always have new people coming in. So, you know, the thing that I like the most, I think for me, is that I see on Facebook and the different social medias that everybody stays in touch. You keep staying in touch and staying over years, since 4 years now. I see people that were here the first year, they're still talking to each other, going and visiting each other. They stay in touch. And I think that that's the kind of brotherhood that New Beginnings, that's why we started it. So.
Yeah. Thane and I, practically since the moment we arrived, we've been surgery buddies. We hang out and we've made YouTube videos together, and we, you know, grocery shop and everything. And his mom has kind of adopted me.
And cooked for everybody.
Cooked for everybody.
Oh, she did, yeah.
It's great.
We all came on the right week.
Yeah. It's just great to have somebody that you can connect with, and you can talk openly about stuff too, and not get judged for it, and not have to explain yourself, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that I know what you're talking about. And
We talk a lot about nipples and poop.
Nipples and poop.
Yes.
Especially day 3. Everybody in the house was talking about poop.
Yeah.
And I'll add that I think staying at New Beginnings has taken a lot of stress away, because if something's happening and I'm afraid, I don't have to call anyone. I would call my surgeon, but I just have to yell, you know, is this normal? And someone else is like, yes, don't worry.
Yep,
So there's
absolutely.
relief.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
a lot of with he's your day 1 or 2.
This is day 2.
And we have another guy who's day 2, and they're like, oh, I don't know, like, I've never had surgery before, and this feels weird. And there's another guy who had man sculpting done, and he was like, is this supposed to feel this way? And it's nice that we can give advice, because there were guys when we first came, we did the same thing. We were like, I'm not sure this is normal.
Yeah.
And they were able to help us and say, yes, that's normal. You're going to feel this, you're going to feel that.
Sure. And this week we even had guys come and visit that were staying in hotels and other places, and that was really nice, because they felt kind of alone, and then they came here and felt the brotherhood with you guys, sit and watch TV.
Definitely a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Instant brotherhood. It's
Well, you guys leave tomorrow, and you're with us another week, and then we have some new people coming in, so you guys make sure and stay in touch.
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.